Hello, friends. Today I'm sharing a beginner friendly card design that uses only die cuts, very minimal amount of stamping. So, if you're just getting started with card making or want a quick and easy project with beautiful results, this is the perfect technique for you. This video is also a part of a blog hop, so I will have a link to the next person in the hop down below in the video description. So, be sure to leave a comment to enter into the giveaway. The product that I'm going to be using today is from the Honeybee Stamps release, and this is the bold background Chinoiserie. I had to actually Google how to pronounce it, so I hope that's correct. Now, this die has a ton of possibilities to it. Even just doing this voiceover, I had a lot of different ideas that I could have done, but we are going to start really clean and simple. First, we have our background die, which I die cut out of a very light, kind of minty green cardstock. And then there are different layers that we can add. So this one is going to be all of the leaves. So I die cut that out of that same green cardstock. The other dies are going to be for the different size flowers on that background plate. So first, the two sets of flowers I have here are going to create kind of a larger and then a medium size, and then there's also a flower bud, which I die cut all out of white cardstock. To add a little dimension to my background, since this cardstock is a little bit on the lighter side, I die cut two of these out of that mint green cardstock and layered them together with the liquid glue. This might be something you want to die cut out of a double sided adhesive sheet to make that go just a little bit easier. Then we have the leaves. So I am going off of the guide that is on the Honeybee Stamps website, and these leaves actually layer behind those longer open stems. So I kind of place them where they would go, and then I'm adding liquid glue to the back and placing that over the top. That went really quick, just being able to line them up first, then adding that liquid glue and picking them up and adding them in their correct position. Now, for the flowers, these are super easy to layer together. This one I'm starting with is more on the larger side or the larger flower out of the two. And there's again so many ways you could do this. You could do some bold, bright colors, die cut out of colored cardstock, or even spray your cardstock if you have some shimmer sprays. I'm going to go for a really, really soft and subtle look. I'm adding a little bit of a light pink ink to the center of the flowers and then to the bottom of the bud area that's going to layer over the top. So it's going to create just a very, very elegant look. And these fit together just like a puzzle, and they're pretty easy and quick to do because there isn't a lot of layers to add to it. And then I'll show you an up close look. There are some details that are die cut or embossed into the cardstock that is provided by the die. And once you start adding color, it does help enhance those details. And then this is going to place right over that open space. Again, it is fitting in there just like a puzzle. Now, I'm not going to add those just yet. I want to pop those up for dimension later on. So I'm just going to go ahead and work on my other flowers. This is the smaller of the two. I did the same thing with that light colored pink ink and then a small blending brush, which helped kind of control how much ink I was placing down, and then layering that together with my liquid glue. I also really love taking something like that background plate and die cutting it out of black cardstock and adding it to an ink blended black background. That gives you a very bold and vibrant look. And I think it also just kind of stretches the use of our layering dies is by taking the base piece and creating a silhouette out of it. I've done a few videos doing that technique, which I will link up on top. And then last here we have our rosebud. Now I did go ahead and add foam squares to the back of all of my flowers just to pop them up a little bit because we really don't have a lot going on. I'm relying on this beautiful, elegant piece to be the star of the show. I'm going to add this to a white card front. So this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm adding the liquid glue behind that and placing it on the front of my panel. And you can see it fits absolutely perfect. Now, the only stamping that I'm going to do is my sentiment. And to do that, I am using one of the brand new stamp sets. This is All Things New. It has some beautiful scripty sentiments on here. It also has beautiful butterflies that I'm really excited to color in using my alcohol markers. But for right now, I'm just using this small sentiment, stamping it in a black ink. And you can see I'm just using my scratch paper that I used for my flowers. I can then take the coordinating die, line that up over the top, run that through the die cut machine, and I do also cut another one so I can layer these together just to add that stability behind the sentiment. And I'm going to pop it up with some thin foam squares. I hope this beginner friendly die cut card design inspired you to dive in and start creating with your die cuts. I do have another video that I'm going to link at the end here that is also using die cuts, and I think it's a really fun technique that you're going to enjoy. All of my supplies will be linked down below in the video description and over on my blog. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for joining.